I looked it up, and I don't have a single video on YouTube explaining the titty mount. And I feel like it sounds like is that I'm telling Grimes that because she has a good song that I want to chain her up, and I almost want to chain up Justin Bieber, but I'm not sure about it. What the titty mount actually is it was a joke award. You know how I have the Phoenix Sammys? Well, I also have the titty mount, and the titty mount is when you have 3 songs that are super duper awesome. And if you have 3 songs that are super awesome, then you make the titty mount. If you have 1 song that meets the requirements, you make the communion list. And if you have a pretty good song, then you are on the Mount of Titties. And if you have no good songs, then you're chilling out in Gaza. Gaza is where it's a ranking system of your music. So, and then on top of the titty mount, there's also the best artist of all time list that you can make. And the best artist of all time list is very difficult to make. The titty mount's really hard to make too, because I am very picky. So when I told Grimes that she isn't on the titty mount, that's why I was like, you don't have 3 songs that are super duper awesome. But she has a lot of consistency to her music, and that's why she probably could make the communion list. In fact, she would be invited if she wore something cool, because she has like cool outfits and stuff that she wears. And Elon is probably on the titty mount by himself for his work in the clean energy department and making electric cars cool. So what the titty mount actually is it's an ice cream social. What I said is that someday I'm going to take over Jerusalem, and I'm going to fill it with idols. I'm going to have this guy, Dr. Soderbergh, come in. He's going to fill Jerusalem with idols, and we're going to have a monkey god idol, because I was going to have a Chinese quarter, and I don't know what the quarters are going to be. I was going to change the quarters. I was going to kick out all the Muslims, because the Muslims wouldn't allow me to go into the Dome of the Rock. And the Dome of the Rock, what I was going to do, because I've never been there, is I was going to take over the Titty Mount, which is the Temple Mount, which has the Dome of the Rock and Al-Aqsa, which is the holiest place in all of Islam, because Abraham was going to sacrifice Ishmael there, according to them. 700 years later, they found out that it wasn't Isaac, it was actually Ishmael. And so I was going to take over the Dome of the Rock. I was going to live in Al-Aqsa, and I was going to turn it into a mansion, and then I was going to have a throne bed inside of the Dome of the Rock, but I was also going to fill it with gold, because we actually have very massive gold stashes. You have to understand, this is all for psychological warfare purposes. Everything I'm saying right now is for psychological warfare purposes. I don't actually have plans for gold chains. Actually, I don't know how much I am into BDSM unless other people are into it. I don't really want to hurt anyone, but you never really know. I guess if other people want to do what they want to do, we'll do it. Anyways, so the communion list, if you don't get invited to the Titty Mount, which is where we have an ice cream social, I missed the part where in my past lives I had so many wives that someday I'm going to impregnate all my wives, and we're going to make breast milk ice cream. And this was not ever supposed to be a public idea, which somehow it turned into me telling people about it. It was supposed to be a joke that I was using for psychological warfare for people that were hacking me at my house. Like, I knew that I was getting hacked by all these people because I had already done my hunger strike. So I made a recording where I was saying all this weird shit. And I started talking about the Titty Mount, and I started ranking people. And so, but if you make it the Titty Mount, then you get breast milk ice cream. And if you don't, then you get breast milk communion. So do you actually have to drink it? No, but would you? Probably. I would. And so when I talk about the Church of Holy Sepulchre having a sex dungeon in it, does that mean I'm talking about like chaining up the people that are on the communion list? No. That sex dungeon's for me, because I was going to actually live in the Church of Holy Sepulchre, and then I was going to give the Titty Mount to Jesus, because I don't actually want to be in charge of Jerusalem. I was going to put Jesus in charge because it's just easier. And it turns out that I'm probably the actual clone of Jesus, unfortunately. Which the reason it's unfortunate is because I feel like that's embarrassing. There's nothing more embarrassing you can say about yourself than you think that you're a clone of Jesus. But the thing is, I don't. Like, I think we're going to stick to the whole clone of Satan. That's not any more embarrassing or anything, right? So, yeah. The communion list doesn't mean that it's not like I'm trying to be sexual. I'm just saying, like, if you make the list, like who's another communion list person? I don't know. Katy Perry's on the Titty Mount. A lot of people are on the Titty Mount. I can't think of very many people that are on the communion list, even though there are a lot of people. Like Blur, for song number 2, isn't it? That song is definitely on the Titty Mount. Wait, no, it's on the communion list, but that song by itself can almost put you on the Titty Mount. Go is kind of like song number 2. It's that good of a song. But like the Smashing Pumpkins are on the Titty Mount for sure. So it's not. So it like do I really want to like chain up that guy? No, but we're all clones. Who listened to that song, the Smashing Pumpkins? It turns out it's not a Smashing Pumpkins song, it's Alice Cooper song. Alice Cooper, I don't even think he's on the communion list, but he probably actually is if I research him enough. And that's the thing about Grimes. If I really listen to her music harder, like if I listen to her new album, she might make the communion list. I'm not sure yet, though. I feel like it's really difficult to be a certain type of vocalist without a rapper and to make the Titty Mount, because like if your vocals aren't like, if you don't change your sound enough with your vocals, then it gets very difficult to make the Titty Mount. So that's when you need another artist. So yeah, that's what the Titty Mount is. It's not a sex thing. It's a ranking thing, and it is probably one of the reasons that people know who I am, because I started talking about famous people on Twitter all the time, and next thing you know, Josh Groban's on the Titty Mount. That's who would have sung at my inauguration for sure. He's the best. Anyways, I'm getting out of here. Hope you guys enjoyed hearing about the Titty Mount.